a lot of help.
I don't know anything.
Oh, but those are gorgeous. Yeah, we're ready. Yeah.
Rolling.
Okay. Now.
Well, Kim, we have never met, but you are playing a Texas woman in this movie. And, of course, I am from Dallas-Fort Worth, and I think that you're probably going to be one of the most remembered people in this movie.
I hope so. I hope so.
Now, you play, I guess the quickest way to describe you would be a kinky lady. Will you buy that?
Absolutely. Just into kinky sex.
Okay. And, of course, you and Burt have many meetings, shall we say. Yes.
Many meetings. Short but quick. Can I say that? I can.
Yeah, I think you can say that.
No.
They're two
They're
nice words. Nothing
yes.
wrong with
Okay.
either word. Okay. Maybe when you put them together it gets a little strange. But was this a role, Kim, that you truly wanted, or did you stop and think, hey, do I want to do this or not?
No, I had no time to think that, because it happened like this. Blake called me up and asked for a meeting. I walked in his office. Burt Reynolds was sitting on the couch. We talked for an hour and a half. We talked about robbers and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, about our houses and robbers and whatever happens in L.A. And that was it. That was the meeting. And I left. I went home, and on my service there was a message that Blake Edwards wanted me to do his film. He called me up. I had never read a script. I knew nothing of the character. I knew nothing about the movie. I knew nothing. I just knew nothing. I went to work not knowing anything. And I just immediately, I don't know, my instinct said, go with it, Kim, trust Blake. I said, absolutely. I didn't even hesitate. I said, yes, and that was it. That was, I got to work, and Louise created this kinky woman.
What was the very first scene you had to do then?
I had to walk in his house when he was upstairs with Enid, and I think look at his paintings and say how lovely they were, and this, that, and the other. And then he told me that this woman was his sister, that he's in the bed with, obviously, and obviously this woman looks nothing like him, and that was the first scene I had to do. So it was tough. It was hard, but it was fun, a lot of fun.
That was one of the tamer scenes that you had to do.
Oh, that was, I think, the only tame scene, don't you? I'm glad you asked me about that one. It's the only tame scene.
Working with Burt Reynolds now, people have a certain perception of what Burt Reynolds is really like.
Yes.
So you know the Burt Reynolds that you saw on the screen before you ever met him, but now you do know more of the real Burt Reynolds. So how would you describe then the real Burt Reynolds?
He's a good old guy, just like people think he is. He is that good old guy. He's truly honest, a real great pal. He has an incredible sense of humor that keeps things happening on a set and keeps the levels of anger or anything down. I mean, he's a lovely man, but there is another side that people don't know about Burt, and it's a very sensitive side. You know, it's a very serious, sensitive, hurtable, vulnerable. I mean, there are pieces of David that exist inside Burt, and it's amazing. Once you get to know Burt, he's calm, he's soft-spoken, he's intelligent, he's, I could go on and talk about him, but those are secrets that people, I think, have even yet to see. They see a lot of that, I think, in this film, in the character of David that he plays, but I think there's yet even more to see to Burt. I really do, on the serious side.
Of course, the kinkiness of your character is not all that explicit. It's Blake Edwards does it more with suggestion, really, than actual pornographic kinky sex.
Yes.
When you and Burt would be doing one of these scenes, would you all just crack up, and was it hard?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, absolutely, absolutely. It was the most fun in the world. And of course, see, the bad thing about doing scenes like that, when you know they should be funny, if they're not funny, something's wrong, is the crew behind the camera starts cracking up before he says cut. So you hear them, and you start laughing, so it messes up the whole thing. But not in Blake's company. In Blake's companies, he keeps the camera rolling, and you just stay in character. And even if you start laughing, Burt has a tendency to say, "What you laughing at?" said, I don't know. It's funny. I don't know. So, what's funny? I'm funny? He keeps the camera rolling, and that's what's so lovely about Blake Edwards. It's all his own, actually. He keeps it going. He loves it because Blake, you can hear Blake on the side. Sometimes you can hear him just laughing out loud, watching us do the scene and laughing, It's amazing. And that kind of reward right there when you're working, I have to say, is quite a little ego trip. I mean, it's fun, to be enjoyed that much.
When you were doing Never Say Never Again with Sean Connery, was it the same kind of experience working in that film?
Oh, definitely not. Definitely. That was a year we were in Europe. It was a very, very different film, a very difficult shooting schedule. What people ended up seeing as being Never Say Never Again, we actually shot 2.5 more films, I bet, with all the footage we shot. So it was very hard. It was very tough.
Sean, easy to work with?
Oh, he's lovely. He's lovely. The film, I don't think, would have ever finished itself had it not been for Sean. But on the other hand, it was a mite unorganized. A crew that was, one of the finest crews in Europe, if not the finest crew in Europe. Lovely people and very talented people. But yet, there were a few people in that production that made it almost unbearable to come to work some days. And it was a tough film for me, and a tough film for everybody else. I don't stand alone there. It was very, very hard, very hard.
So you were doing a little fun and games then with this part.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was like getting on a boat and going to the Bahamas. Going to, for a vacation. It was fun. And I said in a previous interview that it was just so quick. It was too quick. It was like a puff of smoke. You want to stay around you for a long time.
There you go with that word again.
What word?
Quick.
Oh,
Kim.
Quick and to the point here.
It's been fun meeting you. It's been a brief meeting, but I hope I have a chance to see you and interview you again sometime.
Thank you very much.
And I'll say hello to Texas for you.
Oh, please do that.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks.
Okay, pause.
Nice interview. Very. Kim, how did this part come about for you? Did you have any hesitancy at all about playing this kinky lady? Would you and Burt ever break up in a scene because some of the scenes are just hilarious? You know Burt from his films, and you know Burt from working with him. What is the real Burt Reynolds like? Was working on Never Say Never Again anything like working on this film? So you would really do a little fun and games with this kind of film, weren't you? Okay, that should do it. Oh, do one more what?
Just look at,
Oh.
just say the thank you line.
Oh,
That was on a
oh,
single, not a
Oh, okay, fine. Well, Kim, thanks very much for talking with us here in Miami, and I'll say hello to Texas for you.
good.
Okay, thank you.
That way you've got an alternate if you want.
All right, fine.